Demi Moore rose to fame in the 1980s with movies like St. Elmo's Fire, and became a major star with her role in Ghost, one of the highest-grossing films of its time. Throughout her career, Moore has been recognized for breaking boundaries in Hollywood, including her widely discussed nude and pregnant cover for Vanity Fair in 1991, which was considered groundbreaking at the time. Her impact on the film industry and her bold choices both on and off the screen have made her a prominent figure in Hollywood for decades. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Demi Moore. She had a difficult upbringing. Born on November 11, 1962, Demi Moore had a difficult upbringing. She was hospitalized at age 5 for kidney problems. In her memoir, Inside Out, Moore recalled enjoying her 3-month stay at the hospital because the routines and stability were unlike her chaotic home life. Her family moved constantly, her mother struggled with substance abuse, and her stepfather behaved unpredictably. One night, he drunkenly shot a gun, accidentally grazing his forehead, a dangerous environment for a child. Moore was also burdened with trying to stop her mother's suicide attempts. She wrote in her book, "I remember using my fingers, the small fingers of a child, to dig the pills my mother had tried to swallow out of her mouth. Something very deep inside me shifted then, and it never shifted back. My childhood was over." Meeting a famous actor got Demi Moore her start. As a teenager, Demi Moore's parents separated, and she moved to Hollywood with her mother. There, she befriended Nastassja Kinski, daughter of actor Klaus Kinski. After she learned that Nastassja was trying to be an actor, Moore decided to try acting herself. In quick succession, Moore married musician Freddie Moore in 1980 at age 18 and landed a role on General Hospital in 1982 as Jackie Templeton. This role changed her life, giving her financial independence for the first time. However, her marriage began to fall apart, and she struggled with alcohol. Moore and Freddie divorced in 1985, shortly after leaving General Hospital. She saw the soap opera as just the beginning of her acting career. She was part of the Brat Pack. After leaving General Hospital, Demi Moore transitioned to movies, becoming part of the 80s Brat Pack, with roles in Blame It on Rio, About Last Night, and St. Elmo's Fire. However, during this time, her substance abuse, including cocaine and heavy drinking, began affecting her career. Director Joel Schumacher, who worked with Moore on St. Elmo's Fire, gave her an ultimatum. If she drank even one beer, she would be fired. He encouraged her to go to rehab and hired a sober coach to help her after treatment. Moore has remained sober since then. After rehab, Moore dated her St. Elmo's Fire co-star Emilio Estevez. She described his family as a positive influence. The two got engaged, but Moore ended the relationship after learning Estevez had slept with an ex and gotten her pregnant. Ghost marked a milestone in her career. In 1990, Demi Moore became a major star with her role in Ghost, where she played the wife of a murdered man who discovers his ghost is still with her. For the role, Moore cut her hair into a bold bowl cut without asking for permission. Ghost became the highest-grossing movie of 1990, making Moore one of Hollywood's top stars. She reflected in her memoir Inside Out that the movie was a turning point in her career, as it was her first grown-up film, and she was involved in the creative process. After reading a negative review, Moore decided to avoid reading reviews altogether, believing it's important not to give too much weight to either good or bad feedback. Moore also shared that she kept the pots from the movie's famous pottery scene, but joked on the Drew Barrymore show, "They're like the saddest looking things." Striptease brought her a historic paycheck. In 1996, Demi Moore starred in Striptease, a movie about a woman who turns to stripping to make money quickly. Moore made headlines for earning $12.5 million, the highest salary ever for a female lead at the time. While some in Hollywood questioned whether she deserved such a large paycheck, her high salary helped increase pay for other women in the industry. Despite the hype, Striptease was not well received, with low ratings and poor box office performance. Moore later said the film brought a lot of negative judgment, especially due to her role and salary. She told Variety, "My salary for Striptease became something that I got punished for as opposed to celebrated." She shaved her head for G.I. Jane. In 1997, Demi Moore took on a dramatic transformation for her role in G.I. Jane, where she shaved her head to play a woman joining the Navy SEALs. She revealed her buzzed hair on The Late Show with David Letterman, surprising the audience. Letterman even joked that she looked like a guy he went to high school with, highlighting how shocking her new look was at the time. Moore was fully committed to the role and had no problem cutting her hair, saying it was necessary to make the role realistic. However, Moore's views have changed. In 2022, she said she wouldn't do it again and would wear a wig for similar roles. Now that she's older, she feels she no longer has anything to prove. Demi Moore married Bruce Willis in Las Vegas. After Demi Moore and Emilio Estevez broke up, they stayed close, and she even attended the premiere of Stakeout with him. That night, she met actor Bruce Willis, who was very popular at the time. He showed interest in her and called her the next morning to spend the day together. They quickly became inseparable, and within weeks, they were traveling to Europe together. 4 months after meeting, Moore and Willis got married in Las Vegas during a break from his filming Die Hard. A month later, they had a second wedding on the Warner Brothers lot, officiated by Little Richard. Although it should have been a joyful moment, Moore found the experience overwhelming. Soon after, Moore found out she was pregnant, becoming a mother less than a year later. Over time, their relationship became more about managing schedules, especially since they had children right away. She realized they might not have really known each other deeply. Willis was unsure about their marriage, while Moore became more independent, which created distance between them. They announced their separation in 1998 and divorced by 2000. Despite the split, Willis told Rolling Stone that he still loved Moore, and they remained close friends, focused on raising their daughters. She was called a cougar. When Demi Moore began dating Ashton Kutcher in 2003, the media focused on their age difference, calling her a cougar and portraying her as a symbol of older women dating younger men. They joked about the age gap during Kutcher's Saturday Night Live monologue in 2005, and they got married that same year. Moore later expressed discomfort with the cougar label, saying she wasn't the first woman to date a younger man, but was singled out for it. She insisted that their relationship was meaningful, with Kutcher's love giving her confidence. However, their relationship ended. In her memoir Inside Out, Moore revealed that bringing others into their relationship led to problems, and Kutcher eventually cheated. They finalized their divorce in 2013. She was an early adopter of Twitter. With Ashton Kutcher's influence, Demi Moore became one of the first celebrities to regularly use Twitter, the platform now known as X. In 2009, she made headlines for helping someone who had threatened self-harm online. After seeing the post, she wasn't sure whether to respond, but decided to take action, and later informed her followers that the police had saved the person. Moore explained that using Twitter allowed her to connect with fans directly, giving them a behind-the-scenes look at her life. Earlier in her career, Moore expressed a desire to help children and make a difference. Through Twitter, she raised awareness about issues like sex trafficking and child exploitation. She and Kutcher started the DNA Foundation to push for legislative change, and Moore often tweeted about the foundation's work. Her frightening health scare. After Demi Moore split with Ashton Kutcher, she was hospitalized, leading to rumors about drug problems. A representative told TMZ that Moore was seeking help for exhaustion, while sources told people that her prescription drug use contributed to the breakdown of her marriage. Kutcher reportedly wanted her to take care of herself, but she struggled to do so. Moore had gone to rehab in the 1980s and had been sober for many years, though this might have changed. In her memoir Inside Out, Moore admitted she was hospitalized after a bad reaction to nitrous oxide and synthetic marijuana, which made her feel like she was slipping away. After that frightening experience, she decided to reflect on her life and face her challenges.